Well, a new poll from Iowa's Des Moines Register shows that Herman Cain and Mitt Romney are leading the Republican race for the White House. Now, Tom Del Beccaro is the chair of the California's Republican, and he joins us now. Well, you certainly do have a race on your hands. I mean, this has been a dramatic up and down with new people coming in, the latest one being Herman Cain. How do you compare this run around the track with 4 years ago?
Well, 4 years ago, you saw just as many people. 4 years ago, you and I could have sat here and no one would have said McCain got the nomination. No one would have said that. So I still think there is a long way to go. One big difference between here and 4 years ago is the intensities on the Republican side, and the issue is a good one for Republicans, tax reform. 4 years ago, the issues weren't on the Republican side. You had 8 years of one presidency, which seems a long time for anybody these days.
But it's interesting, how much of this shifting in the Republican race is the media and perception, and how much is on the ground? You see that on the ground. Who has the operation? Is Mitt Romney have the operation to take the convention despite he seems to be consistently at the top? Is he still the front runner?
In a lot of ways, you're right. Another big difference is I think voters are even more impatient today than they ever been. And that's on both sides of the equation, quite frankly. Your prior piece shows impatience with Obama. He should have done all these things for the left, and he doesn't think they did 100% on the right. You have the Tea Party and other people who think government reform hasn't been fast enough. Prior to the revolution, John Dickinson said people don't reform moderately. They want reform and they want it now. So I think what you're seeing is a lot of impatience on both sides, and it's hard for these candidates in this 24/7. Look, we're still a year away. It's almost like when people say November to me, I think they're talking next week.
Yeah, exactly. And also, this year, it seems like the message has drilled down. The shorter the soundbite, like Herman Cain is a very plain-speaking person, and everybody criticized him out of the gate because he didn't know enough. And we heard the same criticism, Michelle Bachmann, Sarah Palin, and other people. You're not versed enough in foreign affairs. He seems to say, it doesn't matter, I'll learn it, and at least a segment of the Republican Party is buying, either buys into that or appreciates it. What's going on there?
The thing with Cain is he's an outsider. And when people perceive that Washington isn't doing well enough, or either party isn't doing well enough, they turn to outsiders. So, you know, our state did that not long ago with the last governor prior to this. So Herman Cain's appeal is, hey, look, I'm not the professional politician. I'm here to solve problems. That works well. Look, what did Obama say? He didn't have a deep message. He said he'd wanted change, right? Well, he didn't explain the change that he would do, really. And so I think that, again, that's another similarity. Things are broken down in Washington. Washington's not supplying answers. Herman Cain's appeal is that he's the outsider.
Let's go a little bit on inside baseball. In California, what are you seeing these candidates do?
Well, not unlike Obama right now. They're coming to California. They want to get some money out of it. They also are building up their ranks in case it lasts that long. Plus, they get, as we've talked in the past, people can call out of California into other places.
Who has the best operation in California?
Well, it's the people who have been in the race the longest.
Mitt Romney?
Mitt Romney, therefore, because he's been in this race, what, for 5 years now. Has a good operation. Perry had a good operation in the very beginning. The other candidates haven't really concentrated on that because they have to make their, when you're lower in the polls, you have to put all your resources, as we saw with
You have
Bachmann.
to make it as one of the front runners in order to get the attention to get the operation going.
Well said.
Okay.
You should do this for a living.
Can you stick around for another segment? Because we don't have time now to get into Jerry Brown's pension reform or your challenge of the redistricting here in California, which affects us all.